If I don't do it this way, I've got to walk.
The men and women who would run Bristol join me live in the centre of the city for the biggest hustings event of its kind yet.
And keeping the home fires.
Now, a lack of vision, a shortage of skills and a transport system that doesn't work. That's the verdict on Bristol issued today by the city's business community. And they want the new mayor, who'll be elected next week, to fix it.
Tall order. They're holding a hustings tonight with the candidates, and our business correspondent Dave Harvey is there for us now. Dave, this is a pretty damning indictment, really, isn't it?
It is, Ali, you're right, but I'm not sure that anybody here at Ashton Gate tonight would disagree that we need better transport, better schools, better skills for our children, more affordable homes. As you can see, some 300 or so traders, engineers, lawyers have come here tonight. And who have they come to see? Well, this lot. 14 of the 15 men and women who would be mayor of Bristol have come here tonight. From across all the city, from the main political parties, and clearly from no political party at all. We'll have a word with a couple of those people in a minute. But first, let's have a word with Jim Jury from Business West. You've put this thing together. You've been asking thousands of businesses what they want. It's a big shopping list.
Vote for respect. Don't
Okay.
have big money by this election.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We'll hear that in a moment. So it's quite a lively event. What are you expecting? What are you hoping for?
Well, there's a whole range of issues that business have been talking to us about. Of course, transport is pretty much at the top of the list for many people, but also around housing, around jobs, of course, young people, skills. There's a whole myriad of things. How the city is led and run, and Bristol business thinks that really this is an opportunity to strengthen how Bristol is led. Businesses wants to get behind it. We want to have a really good debate tonight, and then lead up to the 15th of November. But
we know it's going to be lively, Jim. Do you think a mayor can actually change stuff?
Well, we think that this is an opportunity for Bristol, yes, to definitely strengthen, but it requires a mayoral office, not just a mayor itself. Clearly, a mayor is a very important person, it's the key person within this, but it's how the city can get behind this, and this is a big opportunity for this city, and we're behind it.
OK, Jim Jury, thanks very much. One issue, just to pick it up, that just really divided politicians and business leaders alike today, is this concept of a living wage. You've heard probably of the minimum wage. Well, this is £1 an hour more. Not backed by law, but backed by many candidates, including Boris Johnson, interestingly, of course, the Mayor of London. And Marvin Rees, you're the Labour candidate here. You'd pay everyone that works for you an extra £1 an hour, would you?
It's about the living wage. It is what it says on the tin. It's about taking seriously the council's responsibility to be tackling poverty and inequality. And it's actually about the health of our local economy. We know we need to get spending going, and by paying people on lower incomes what they need to get by, they'll also be spending it in our local economy.
OK, but Jeff Gollop, I think you're the Conservative candidate. You're not so keen, are you?
I'm not so keen. I agree with the principle. Fantastic idea. But we can't do it in isolation. And what I'm not prepared to do is to lay off lowly paid workers in the council in order to fund a higher wage for their colleagues.
Right, so to pay more, you'd lose people. What do you think about that, Marvin? You don't want to be sacking people, do you?
No, and that's not what we're intending. We've done work around this, we've looked at the finances around it, and we can do it. And actually, it is about the City Council setting an example in Bristol. We're talking about City Council employees, other public sector organisations, and then rolling it out as an example across the private sector. We can't preach if we don't practice.
It sounds quite plausible, doesn't it, Mr Gollop?
But it's not affordable. And I come back to the fact that to do it in our schools, we'd end up seeing lowly paid staff being laid off. And I don't find that acceptable.
OK, I can see, Marvin, you're shaking your head. There's two opinions. The joy of this election is if you don't like those two, well, hey, there's plenty more to choose from. And across the next 10 days, I'm sure on Points West, we're going to be hearing from everybody. What do you think, guys?
Thanks very much indeed, Dave. Well, all this week we're going to be meeting